Time to plant the onions. The wife's been out here the past week actually, pulling all the weeds and grass and stuff that started growing in here. Got neglected last year, went to seed. She still doesn't have everything out of here. But we got to break the soil up, loosen it up. I had been using the rototiller, but that's messing up a gate, if you want to call it a gate. I never got back to finishing building that. But the rototiller goes over that bar on the bottom and bends it, so can't really go in here with the rototiller. So I'm going to use a different tool for that. Show you how to use that the easy way. Got my taters planted over here. 3 rows of Yukon Gold. 2 rows of Kennebec. It's like a brown russet potato. Hopefully this is turning out good. I haven't used this camera before to make any videos, and I don't have a wind resistant microphone, and it's really windy out here today. So this is kind of a first run test video with this camera. Got 18 rows of corn planted over here. They're about 30-35 feet long. Another garden section here. I'm working on prepping the soil, getting the weeds and grass out. Got another section over there. Not sure what I'll put in those yet. But it's always good to have extra plots for rotating your crops every year. This was an herb garden that went to grass and weed. Still got some oregano growing in here though. I'm working on making a new herb garden. I'm going to transplant those over into it. Got a bunch of garlic chives over here that don't really care much for. Got regular chives over here. Those things are good. Just about ready to harvest already for the first time this year. Starting to get little flowers on them. Oh, not flowers, they're getting buds. They're getting flowers soon. Alright, so let's see what we need to loosen up the soil for that onion garden. Don't ask me what it's called. I don't remember. I don't know if it's a weed tool. Actually, I think that's what it is. I think it's a tool for getting weeds out of the ground, but it's a good hand-powered tool for breaking soil loose. So if you're going to have a garden, you're going to need a lot of tools. We'll get across to all that later. So I can see this isn't automatically focusing. This is a Canon 6D. It's a really good camera, but probably not so good for video. Okay, let's wander back out here to the onion patch. I don't have a camera person with me. I don't have my tripod, and as windy as it is, I'd be kind of afraid to leave this sitting on a tripod, so I don't know how this is going to work. I've been gardening for, I don't know, 13 years or more. 13 years here. But a lot of people are getting gardens now, so I'm trying to put information up to help everybody. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of fun. And watching them plants grow, kind of like watching puppy dogs grow. That just gives you a feeling of accomplishment that you planted it and it actually grew. And then you get to harvest it and eat it, and oh man, it tastes so much better. Okay, so with this tool, I can't do it with one hand. So this kind of sucks. I'm not going to be able to record me doing this. I'm going to try setting the camera on the ground, but basically you just put this in the ground, and it's got this T-handle, and you just turn it, and it breaks up the soil. Let me see. Like I said, I don't know if this is going to work. This is just pretty much a test video. Those are wild onions growing from last year. They're not actually wild. Those are, I forget which ones those are. I had red, white, and yellow onions in here last year, and carrots. Man, that stuff turned out so good. Okay, I'm gonna set this camera down. Most likely you're not gonna hear my voice. This thing's only like maybe 15 feet by 15 feet, but I'm gonna try and get it on video so you can see how this thing loosens up the soil. As you can see, it works. Too much work for an old man. Sure would love to use that rototiller in here. But to save a lot of boring time, I'm gonna pause the video here. I gotta get rid of this sticker bush weed thing here. And then once I get this all loosened up, I'll come back, start recording again, and show you how to plant these onions. That's what I got so far. Goes down pretty good. Nice loose soil. But this old man is short of breath from smoking them damn cigarettes. Out of shape from winter. This is still late winter. Most people refer to it as early spring, but to me there's only two seasons in Illinois, winter and summer. So that's probably a 6 foot by 4 foot section. Took this out of breath, out of shape old man about 10 minutes to do it. So I gotta go in, have a drink, sit down, catch my breath, come back, finish that half there. Then I gotta come do this half here and a section across the back for the carrots. Alright, see you in a few. I was on my way back to the house. Now I figure stop, give you a sneak peek at the herb garden I'm putting in. 35 by 12. Used to be a flower bed that a woman had. The previous owner of this house, he was like 80 years old, so took care of all this, man. 1.35 acres, chickens, goats, sheep. I don't know how the heck she did it. Multiple flower beds, but I've been trying to keep up on them, modifying some of them. It's too much work for one old man. I lost all the flower beds. So this is going to be our herb garden. That'll be a whole nother video too. Alright, I'm heading to the house, get a drink, sit down, rest my arms a minute, and then come back out working that onion field. Well, not an onion field, onion patch.